Hey, it's Rizzy Life, man. I'm with Mikey T, the movie star, man. We turning up day and night. Respect Mikey T, respect me. Y'all already know the vibe.
Rizzy Life, man, I appreciate you joining me today on the platform. I know you've been grinding on the music scene for a number of years, so I wanted to invite you on the podcast to tell your story.
Hey, thank you very much. Yo, Mikey T, much obliged, man, to be on here with you, man. I see you doing a lot of good things. I see a lot of interviews. Doing your thing. Keep doing your thing no matter what nobody say.
I really appreciate that, man. And for my audience, first of all, for everyone who may or may not know, can you tell everyone where you were born and raised?
I was born in the Bronx and raised in the Bronx. I was born on Fordham Road, man. And that's why I was raised at on Fordham Road. But I've been all around the whole New York and the world. But Bronx native, man, born on Fordham.
That's what's up, man. You got to tell me a few stories about coming up from the Bronx. What neighborhood were you representing, man? Tell me a little bit about it.
Well, I'm from West Fordham University, 188th, 190. That's like 90 blocks. So that's like Kingsbridge, 183rd, Lauren Place. It's a couple blocks surrounding that whole area, but we was on 188th and University. So a lot of people don't know that's like we grew up with every race. Like it wasn't just black and Puerto Ricans. It was whites, Puerto Ricans, Jamaicans, Cambodian, Chinese. So I had a whole bunch of different color friends and shit like that. We was like, you know what I'm saying? We came up just like everywhere where it's grimy in every hood. So we came up through the ranks of, robbing, grew up around murderers, seeing murders at an early age. Bronx was like, it was really dusty back then. So a lot of that influenced us. We came up through the ranks, man. I guess if you want to call it the whole criminal life, like as being young and being around so much things that we was influenced by and the people we was influenced by. So it rubbed off on us. Like when I was coming up, it was graffiti gangs. So we grew up around a lot of thorough like graffiti artists that was, back then they was talking about colors, but you could get killed just for crossing somebody's name out back then. So, but yeah, man, I seen a lot of things for a young kid, like murders at 4. Like I kept seeing a lot of murders, like right outside my window. So
It's crazy, man. How did you end up getting involved in music? What was it that really motivated you to start doing it?
Just listening to music, and from listening to it, then I had somebody that had a studio. So I would just freestyle, and one day I just got on the mic, and somebody came out the room. They was like, "Yo, I thought that was the radio." And I was like, "Nah." It was like, "Nah, that's Rizzy, that's real." So I just from right there I took it. They was like, everybody was like, "Yo, you got to keep doing this, got to keep doing it." So I just kept doing it.
So can you tell me how you would go on to link up with D Block Latino? Are you Latin?
Nah. I'm just grew up in the Bronx, so I got all friends from all nationalities. So, and plus I was like one of the main ones in the hood that was like really turn it up to be a youngster. One of the youngsters that all the old heads looked at like, yo, he's a problem, you know? So, but yeah, man, so I met Chadi and them. I like I'm they OG. So they look up to me, Chadi Yadi and he got the D Block stand, Chadi Yadi and Harold, but they know him as PLF, Poppy Littleface.
Who were some of the other artists that you worked with on D Block Latino? And can you tell the people who don't really know about it a little bit about it, because that's actually new to me. I had no idea. What exactly was D Block trying to do with D Block Latino?
See, the D Block Latino, they had a whole different, like they had the whole reggaeton when the reggaeton started popping and the all that other, like the whole Spanish culture started popping. So they like Harold and them. And Harold and Shotty, they be in the hood. Harold's from Preston, Shotty Yachty's from my block, 190 and Grand. So basically what they was doing, they was getting a whole Latino hip hop scene, like they was locking that down. So Shotty had the stamp, and they was doing their thing. They had their studio, they had their little clique, and they was really doing their thing. They got a lot of good music out and stuff like that. I don't know what they saying to the T, but I know, you could just hear it in the rhythm, like, yo, Shotty, you know. And
That's what's up,
my guy L. So it's L, Shotty, PLF, and there's a couple other homies from 192 that they mess with, from 192 to 190. My guy Ralph. So yeah, they all good money, man.
So those were the first guys that you linked up with when you were starting to freestyle and get in the studio?
Yeah, like, so after the era, like when I started, somebody tried to get me a deal. Well, I just started, so I didn't really know what they was doing. So I was like, I ain't no fucking rapper, man. So I just shut the whole deal down, and they was looking at me like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with you? I know what I'm saying, that wasn't I had the skills, but I just didn't want to do it right then. So later on, I started picking up freestyling again, and I ended up in the studio with Shotty Yachty, and I just been in there bringing weed, taking my frustration out in the studio. Me and Shotty recorded me just going hard every day, every day.
Did you watch the J Hood interview with Math Hoffa in full?
Oh, I ain't watched the whole thing, but I got, everybody kept sending it to me because I'm linked to him, unfortunately, because I was there through the whole beginning of his ordeal with D Block. So I was there from right when it started. So every time something happened, everybody hit me up like, yo, 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 yo. I was even getting calls about, you know what I'm saying, whatever happened when you said something to him. Anything that happened with him, they hitting my jack like, yo.
I have to ask this question as well because, I don't like certain labels getting pinned on me. So it would help me if you answered this question honestly. What made you want to do an interview with me? What made you even want to do an interview with me? Because I just want to be clear. I didn't really want to go out of my way to, get everyone on my channel that doesn't like J Hood. So I'm just curious, like, why did you want to come on my platform? Like, why did you, reach out to me to do the interview? Do you feel like you need to clear the air on any inaccuracies from that recent interview? And the reason I ask this is because I get a lot of backlash sometimes, and people say, well, Mikey T, you're a clout chaser. Why are you interviewing J Hood's ops? I'm a neutral guy. I'm a neutral journalist, and I just want to make it clear. I didn't come at you like, yo, let's bash J Hood. But at the same time, I'm going to give you an uncensored platform. That's the beauty of my platform. The audience can choose who they side with. So I just really wanted to put that out there.
Now, I respect you for that. Because not a lot of people is even trying to do that because they might feel, anybody that know J Hood, if they're a personal fan, he's very defensive if you give him advice. He's very, he's like that. But in real life, he's not like that. And on top of that, I've been watching, you've been going around since the Tony Sunshine, the AR app, free AR app, and your little whole thing you was going through. I seen the young Dolph, you be around. So I'm like, nah, Mikey T, he official. And then I heard what you was saying about Hood. I don't know what happened with you. I don't got nothing to do with that. But you was making a lot of valid points that people cannot just be like, yo, he not making sense. If they say that, then they sound like a hater because somebody that's listening with a biased ear be like, yo, that makes sense, man. It makes sense.
No, I appreciate that, man. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate the fact that you know some of the work that I went out of my way to do.
This ain't no game, man. This is real shit, man. That's just what it is. I respect your work. So I reached out to you like, all right, Mikey T saying he this, let me see what's up with him. Not just because you getting whatever y'all going through, because you know J Hood for a long time. Y'all could patch up whatever, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So at the same way, you giving me to tell my side of the story, which he's telling people like, yo, I don't know him. Yo, nah, we never did nothing together. Like he trying to blackball me. So it's like, he telling people, they tell people I'm lying. So I'm like, oh word. All right.
I tried to show a little bit of respect to the situation because I had people hitting me up to talk about the issues that J Hood was going through after the Math Hoffa interview. Like people were specifically asking me to interview them about it, but also they were asking me to come on their show and talk about it. And due to the fact that I had known J Hood prior to that, I thought the first thing I should do was get J Hood's response to everything.
But you understand, who do J Hood mess with that you know? Figure that one out. And that'll tell you his character. You know? Think about it. If he wasn't on Math Hoffa and everybody wasn't on him and you would have hollered at him, he would have been hit you. But since he feel like, oh, he already got, now it's fuck your life and all this disrespectful shit, like, bro, stop it, man. He could have just been like, yo, not right now. No, I'm saying, I got you down the line, Mikey T. You was there for me. You met me on Kingsbridge, and know what I'm saying? And did the interview with me inside the restaurant in the Capitol. That was on Kingsbridge. That was you, right?
Yeah, it was inside of that diner
Yeah,
that he would always be going
That's
to.
right there on Kingsbridge, man. That's
Yep.
my hub, right? That's my hub. Kingsbridge and Jerome. That's where you was at. In the
Yeah, and
Capitol.
it's not like you know what I mean? The interview was put right up on World Star. Literally all the stuff we were doing was getting traction and shit like that. So I don't really get why he would come at me in that regard. So let's break down the whole story, man.
All right.
You said you met J Hood at the D Block studio. Was that the D Block studio or the D Block Latino studio? Could you take me into that?
All right, that's the D Block Latino studio. Like I told you, I'll be freestyling. I started writing, but I was at that time I was just freestyling and smoking mad sour. I seen J Hood up there. One day I was in there rapping. He over there. He chilling. He sleeping on the couch or whatever. I do my session. I'm out of there. Then I'm always in a session for some reason. Now he's always over there, so I don't know what's going on. So, but I seen him one time on Fordham. But anyway, long story short, we end up getting cool for me just being in the studio a lot. And we smoking blunts and shit and just just chilling. I'm just doing music, they listening and shit, and niggas is just vibing like that.
So how do you go from linking up with J Hood to actually becoming affiliated with him to the point where you guys were running around together?
From being in the studio smoking weed. So we smoking, we talking. So basically, you know how when you get some good weed, motherfuckers get emotional and start spilling all their guts and stuff. Excuse my French. So we talking and he started just pouring his heart out with the D Block story and just telling me how they doing him and what's going on in his life with D Block and how he feel they mistreating him and they not doing him good. And he just down talking them the whole time. Like, so it's like I'm listening. And I'm a fan of the Locks. I mess with the Locks, but don't mess with the Locks. But I know what they went through with Puff. So everybody, we not blind to what happened with the Locks and Puff. We always riding with them. Free the Locks. You remember that, right? Free the Locks. So we SP wanted to throw the fridge on Diddy. They got on the phone. Diddy had to talk to them like, yo, come to the office. It was real nasty. We felt like Big died, Mace, and we felt like they was getting done dirty. So everybody was riding with them. So when he's telling me that, it's like I'm just looking at it like, what? They doing what to you? They doing like, huh? Like it was just a shock where he just kept saying. So I'm like, damn, bro. So from right there, he just started running with me because he seen everybody from the community fuck with me. He know anything that go down on Fordham or whatever happening, he know everybody was running to me. people kept telling him, yo, that's Rizzy, that's Rizzy, that's Rizzy, that's Rizzy, that's Rizzy. So he knew who I was, and I know he was just rapping, but I didn't even know his whole angle to this whole shit. So I thought it was just gonna be, you wanted me to pay for a feature. You know how it is. They want, yo, you want to pay, want to get on the track, and then it's, yo, I charge this much for a feature. But it never was nothing that. It wasn't that. It was just him telling me a lot of shit about the locks. I guess he seen the way I was moving. I was real strong out there. And just by myself, I was strong. So I don't know, he probably told that whole lock story to a million people. But to me, I took it a different type of way because that's how I am.
Was J Hood working on Tales from the Hood when you met him? And
Nah.
what was his affiliation really with D Block at that point in time?
He was still working on Tales from the Hood. Like he was like getting a whole bunch of tracks and like reference songs. And they was, I guess they were still good, but we like the whole world didn't know what was going on. Just J Hood knew what was going on. I don't even know if D Block really knew that he had so much animosity building up. You know, they didn't see that coming. So their relationship was good, and he was working on Tales from the Hood with a lot of my friends I grew up with, and they was making beats for him, and they was like, you know what I'm saying, rolling out the red carpet for him. He was good. But when he met me, that's when he started coming outside. He wasn't coming outside. When he met me, he was outside, like he grew up in the hood. So he was good with me.